the community you're building is not a community of place, or it's a community. It's a community about a place, but it's people who are all around the world concerned with that place.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that, and how do you get inspired and to promote that particular community?
Well, my first inspiration is that I'm Kenyan, so I think that for me, a Kenyan with an interest in seeing social change. And I see a lot of people who are working very hard to do different things, but these stories are never highlighted. And there is a lot of development in different areas, but no one hardly ever talks about it. And so that, for me, is the inspiration towards that. You know, I'll talk to someone on the phone, or there's Kenyan Bloggers Association, and people will be writing about different things, but there hasn't been any one place where all this information is consolidated. And it's not just Kenyans living in the diaspora, you know, in Europe, Africa, other African countries, or the US, or in Australia, but even Kenyans who are living in Kenya, especially, you know, if during this whole conference, I've had people say how some cities here have very little internet access. And if you think about Kenya, like in rural Kenya, there's very many people who do not have internet access, but there's a place, a point somewhere in the middle of a village that has one computer. But someone will start a blog and write about business startups. And that's something very encouraging. And so that is something that we'd like to encourage, the entrepreneurial spirit of these people, and create this space for them to speak. And so for me, that's sort of my place, the space. Although it's not one physical geographical location, their stories are the same and their endeavors are all similar, and it's something that we hope to create the community. And then just something interesting, when during this whole last year when there was the violence in Kenya, Kenya media was banned. The government banned them from making live news coverage, and the main papers. Although the ban was also illegal, legally the government did not have a right to tell them not to do that. And so the interesting thing is, although I was here in the US and I have a brother in England and one of our partners is in Australia and Scotland, we were giving up-to-minute coverage and live updates. And we had thousands of hits from people who were stuck in their houses who couldn't leave because of the violence going on around, but they had this community that they created, and there was this move towards the unity that the whole country was feeling, but a few segments were, up in flames. So.
Oh, it's fascinating.